Oh, hey, YouTube. It's been, I think, probably like 4 or 5 months since I've done a check-in video. The last one I did was the Scrum Master training once I officially became Scrum Master certified. And I recently went through another awesome event, which was my first time participating in a Capture the Flag, a CTF. So that spurred the idea to do a check-in video. And I've also recently found some really awesome resources for learning, like a couple podcasts and an awesome new book. So I thought that I would share these also and just talk about what the CTF was like, and also just continue to do a check-in. Yes, I know they've been very, very sporadic, but at least I'm doing it. Who knows if anybody will ever see this, but if ever they do, I hope that this is a helpful resource. I'm also coming up on almost a year of working as an IT project manager, and wow, it has been such a process of learning and expanding and changing, and just wow, so much, a tremendous amount of growth in that year. So I plan on doing a recap of what that year has been like, in full honesty, coming from being a full-time self-employed hairstylist of over a decade to working full-time for a business and learning a brand new industry and a brand new role. I think that will be fun. It also, it's going to be honest and truthful, so it will be very candid. But okay, so first topic, the CTF. So I have been a member of an organization called WiCys, WICYS, stands for Women in Cybersecurity. And I've been going through a mentoring program that is once a month, and that has been happening for about 10 months. And that has been so awesome. It's more of mentoring, like not the technical side, but more of like career development, career growth, just learning about different resources and techniques to up-level your career and network with other women in cybersecurity. So that's been really cool. And since I'm a member of WiCys, they sent out an email to everybody saying that they are doing their second annual round of cybersecurity scholarships through SANS. So right when I saw that, I was ecstatic and so excited, because that sounds like an incredible opportunity, and it's an immersive program, which definitely piques my interest also because I have zero college and I don't especially want to go that route if I don't have to, because I don't necessarily love student loans or the idea of having to take math and English classes that, because I have zero college, would have to do first to even get to cybersecurity education. Anyway, so WiCys sent out an email about this opportunity to get a scholarship that is sponsored by Google, Bloomberg, and Facebook, and it is through SANS immersive program. So the first step to do was to write an essay. So I was like, oh goody, I have a great story to tell. And the essay prompt was essentially, why would this training program help your career in cybersecurity? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have many things to say about this. And there was about a month in between the scholarship entry and the applications closing. So I gave myself plenty of time to gather my thoughts, tell my story, and then refine it, because I really, really would love to be considered for this opportunity. So I wanted to take my time and give it the best amount of effort and put my best foot forward for the essay. So I essentially just shared my story about how I've been a hairstylist and was very proud of being a hairstylist, but also had realized that some of my life goals would probably never be reached because of being a hairstylist. And there's only so many hours in the day, and I also by nature am an introvert, I need lots of time to recharge after human interaction. I'm good at human interaction. I know how to perform and put on a show, but it also is really taxing and takes a long time to recover from that. So it was pretty much impossible to ever reach the goals that I had by working behind the chair. So when COVID shut the world down, it was my opportunity to really reassess the trajectory of my life and what I wanted to do, how I wanted to move around to give it another attempt at getting in alignment with my goals. So I essentially got to share that story and share the story about creating this channel and podcast with Jen, which was great. It was really awesome and really cathartic to put that experience into a condensed version. And I also thought this might be one of the only opportunities where my very non-traditional background actually works to my benefit and grabs the right people's attention, because from what I gathered, it sounds like WiCys is trying to bring as much diversity, whether it's background, race, ethnicity, diversity in all forms, into cybersecurity and just making it as accessible as possible. So I'm really excited about that. And the first phase, it's a phased approach. The first phase was competing or participating in a capture the flag. I've never done that before. Even since being an IT project manager, I have very little technical skills. I definitely want to have more and have dabbled here and there. And I've taken a Linux command line class on Udemy, which was actually incredibly helpful during the CTF. Thank goodness I actually knew what a pipe was and what cat command means and what cd change directory means, because those definitely came into play. So the CTF, it was a beginner level. There was a Slack channel of support with it, which was so helpful. I don't think I would have made it through very much at all if that Slack channel wasn't there. I heavily relied on that and searching for the different challenges and seeing other people working through each challenge. I shouldn't even say working through, but like asking questions about it and sharing their experiences and resources and tools that they were using to get through each challenge. So it was a Friday through Monday, and I pretty much just got right to it on Friday and focused on it all of Friday afternoon into the evening to get through as much as I could, at least with the really beginner ones. I got to use my first pipe ever in Linux. I remember learning about them, and it's just a concept until you actually utilize it. So it was really cool to type a command and then pipe it with another command. And in this particular instance, I had to, you're trying to connect to a port, and once you connected to that port, there was a math equation that you had to answer, but you had to answer it really fast. And the only way to do that was to create a text file with the answers in it and then pipe those two commands together. So you scan the port and then pipe and then have your text file that you've created read. So it was so cool to see that come together and work successfully to get the flag. It was great. So I cannot believe how much I enjoyed that CTF. It was awesome. I don't think I got full amount of rest though, because when I would wake up in the night, it was just like my brain was just trying to sift through thinking about the challenges and solve them, which was actually really cool to see that my brain does that for other things and not just hair, because I've definitely had tons of hair dreams before, or like my subconscious running through different hair techniques when I have a color correction coming in. So yeah, it was really, really cool. was a lot of time because it was so much researching, utilizing different tools, downloading different tools to see if they work, trying so many different options and not being afraid of being wrong. I was wrong a lot, but I was also determined to find those damn flags. So it was so much fun, and I can totally see why people love CTFs, and also see how wonderful and beneficial it is to actually do the things, to actually utilize the things that you've been learning, because everything is theory until you're actually doing the things. Just like with hair, you can read about it all day, but until you're actually doing it, it just doesn't fully click. So that was awesome. That was the phase 1 of the WiCys scholarship, and I believe we're supposed to know within the next 5 days or so who will move on to the next phase. They're narrowing it down to 250 for the next phase. I am fingers crossed that I made it to the next phase, based off of my essay, my participation in the Slack channel, because I was sure to participate in there and help people as much as I could, because I got a lot of help from other people's messages, so I really wanted to help wherever I could and guide people in the right direction when there were challenges that I had already made it through. So essay, Slack channel participation, also how I don't think it fully rests on how well you did in the actual CTF, but I could be wrong. But that being said, I did complete 24 of the 26 challenges and ranked, I think, 129th out of like 640 or something. So I feel good about that. I made it way farther than I thought I would, and that was seriously because of the Slack channel and also linking up with one of the other ladies that was in it and just working through problems together kind of as a team. And I don't think I would have been able to make it through as many as I did if she and I didn't link up. So thanks, Michelle. So we'll see what happens with the next phase. But yeah, CTFs are really fun. It was a tremendous amount of learning in such an accelerated and exciting way. I really want to learn more about SQL injection. I really want to learn more about how powerful Netcat and Nmap is. Like, whoa. And I also want to learn more about all of the tools and their functions on Kali Linux, and just the tools that are available for all of these like pen testing type activities. It is continuing to pique my interest and tells me like, oh yeah, you're still really interested in this, so please like keep pursuing that. And I'm happy to have that confirmation even almost a year later, since I haven't been as security focused, because I've been trying to learn how to be an IT project manager to do as best I can at this present job. So I'm very happy that I still am interested in security and that my brain had a good time and the CTF was fun. So the other thing other things that I wanted to share in this update or check-in are a couple of podcasts that I've been listening to lately. I love podcasts, obviously. Jen and I were doing one. And speaking of Jen, one of the podcasts she is also the host of, and it is the SecurityMetrics Podcast. I will link it in the show notes. And it is the company that she and I work for, SecurityMetrics. And she has such a variety of guests covering so many different types of topics. She is such a wonderful host, and she really is so engaging and fun to listen to. Whenever I need my Gen fix, I can just listen to the SecurityMetrics podcast and feel like we're in the same room, and it makes me so happy. One of the episodes that I recently listened to, I cannot remember the episode number, but she was speaking with a woman named Naomi, and they were talking about the myth of cybersecurity jobs and different ways to approach getting into the cybersecurity field, and how to try and get your foot in the door when there are so many weird job descriptions, like, oh, this is an entry-level cybersecurity job, but you have to have 5 years experience and your CISSP. That does not make sense. That is completely on the opposite end. So they were discussing all about that, and it was such a good episode and so awesome to hear two intelligent women discuss this and how excited they are and how much they want to bring in new talent into the cybersecurity field. It just keeps me super inspired and motivated to keep going. So the SecurityMetrics Podcast, I will link that. The other one that I've been loving so much is We Hack Purple Podcast. That the host name is Tanya Janka. She's hilarious. I feel like I want to be friends with her in real life because she's awesome, super smart, really funny, and seems like just a genuinely good human being. So she interviews all different professions within the cybersecurity field and just talks to them about what a day in their life is like, what kind of skills and aptitudes it would most benefit people to have based on their role if they want to go in that direction. It's so informative and it's really awesome to listen to. You just feel like you're hanging out with friends and learning so much at the same time. So I'll also link the We Hack Purple podcast in this description. And because of the We Hack Purple podcast, I believe it was episode 47 where Tanya is interviewing Deviant Olaf. I went down the rabbit hole because he is a physical pen tester. And so of course I'm like, yes, tell me all of the pen testing things. So I listened to that episode and then researched more about him. And he mentioned his wife, who is Tarah Wheeler. And she wrote a book back in 2016 called Women in Tech. And it is this book right here. I checked it out at my library, and it is a wonderful resource. It's called Women in Tech, Take Your Career to the Next Level with Practical Advice and Inspiring Stories. So it talks about writing a tech resume, salary negotiation, how to ace a tech interview company, and also how to start your own company. I have not made it very far into the book yet, but within the introduction, there were a couple of lines in there that just spoke to me so clearly, and I was so impressed. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like so many things are continuing to click, and I am so happy to hear that other people that are in the tech industry feel this way also, and it just feels like it is the natural, like, here you go, we've been waiting for you. It's wonderful. So again, Women in Tech by Tarah Wheeler. I'm really excited to read the rest of it and learn from it and learn from the other ladies in this book, what their story and journey has been like in the tech industry. I will also link the book in the description below. I just picked mine up at the library, but it is definitely available on Amazon. So with that is an update, and I'll link everything down below. Thank you for joining. I hope this is helpful. Please, if you find this helpful, share the word, spread the word. If there are other creatives that you know about that are trying to make a career pivot or change over to the tech industry, this is why I'm doing this. The intention behind it is to show what the journey is like and also encourage, like, yes, you can do this. Your creative brain is absolutely an essential thing. It already works. Now it's just learning a few new things and just doing things a little bit differently. So yes, thank you so much for joining. I hope you have a nice day.